Thanks for joining us today, Duncan. We're looking forward to hearing your thoughts on what the oil and gas industry needs to do to realise the digital dollar. So to start us off, can you explain what is the industrial Internet of Things?
Essentially, the term refers to the digitisation of industry. It's part of the fourth industrial revolution and involves a range of technological innovations such as machine learning, big data technology, machine-to-machine communication, and cutting-edge advances in automation.
So far, how has the oil and gas industry responded to the need for digital transformation?
Companies are adapting in a number of ways. They're already moving from using reactive and preventative maintenance regimes to predictive ones. They're using sensors and big data to increase operational efficiencies, and they're even using automation to improve the safety of operations in the field. Some have started to discover the advantages of using digital twins, where you create a digital replica of your physical assets and systems to gain analytical insight into their operations. And some have begun to explore the benefits of virtual and augmented reality in the production chain.
So how is IO's approach different?
Despite these advances in the industry, we've found that no one is starting projects with digitalisation as a core component of concept development. No one is considering the holistic approach to developing the digital oil field from the very outset. One of our core beliefs at IO is to start with the end in mind. We believe that in order to maximise the value of the digital dollar, we need to consider digitalisation at the earliest possible stage. We need to weave a digital thread through the entire life cycle of a project.
And what does this mean on the level of operations? How do you see it changing the landscape of the industry?
By considering the oil field, its subsurface, the subsea and all the facilities as a system, IO's unique approach allows us to identify the key interaction of the components and subsystems within the whole. Our holistic view enables us to establish the emergent properties of the system, and by doing so, we can begin with a clear visualisation of what the most efficient artificial neural networks of machines will be. This dynamic systems model can then be used to create a digital twin of the system, which can then be used to optimise efficiency throughout the operating life cycle. We look to the success of the building information modelling approach used by the construction industry, which is paving the way for the construction of smart buildings and smart cities. We believe the oil and gas industry can adopt a similar approach and establish a model that consolidates reservoir, GIS, cost and scheduling, efficiency, and even component reliability data with the traditional 3D models used by the industry. IO believe using this approach will bring greater cost and schedule certainty to projects.
And what will it take to build such a model?
We work collaboratively with operators, contractors, suppliers, and non-industry experts to develop the common data model necessary to bring the digital transformation to the industry. But there are challenges. The industry-wide tendency to be reluctant to share data, concerns in traditional circles over data protection, and in some cases a lack of coherent data strategy, which can undermine the usefulness of the data that ends up being collected. But we prefer to focus on the end goal, a common data model for the industry, and how to use the digital revolution to get us there, rather than on the reasons why the existing approach prevents change.
So it sounds like a paradigm shift is required in the industry.
Yeah, absolutely. While current efforts to digitalise the oil and gas industry are delivering value and facilitating laudable safety improvements, they still only work within the existing industry paradigms and they're constrained by them. To break these constraints and to deliver the transformational potential of the fourth industrial revolution, it's essential we start with the end in mind. We need to consider how we can maximise the digital dollar at the very outset of a project and move forward with digitalisation as a core development principle.
Thanks for sharing your thoughts with us today, Duncan. If you're interested in finding out more, get in touch with us at hello@iooilandgas.com.